How long does it take to reverse type 2 diabetes? We're gonna go over that right now. In this video, we're gonna go through what diabetes even is and the different types of diabetes. And then we'll talk about if it's even possible to reverse your type 2 diabetes. And last, we'll go through the #1 best eating program if you have type 2 diabetes. So if you're watching this video, more than likely, you already know what diabetes is. I mean, the real sad truth is that an astonishing number of people in the United States and all over the world, through Australia, through the UK, all over the world, are dealing with diabetes. So you probably know what it is, but let's cover the basics before we move forward. What is diabetes? It's when the body's ability to deal with blood sugar fluctuations is impaired. That's a real simplified version. So what are the types of diabetes? We have 3 types of diabetes. We have pre-diabetes, type 2, and type 1. Let's briefly go through that. If you are pre-diabetic, this means your A1C is between 5.7 and 6.4. And what is an A1C? A hemoglobin A1C measures the amount of sugar coating the red blood cell over the last 3 months. That's what's really great about an A1C. You can't hide from it. So those of you lying to your endocrinologist and you're saying, oh, I'm doing fine. Look at my glucose is right. No. Glucose changes minute to minute, okay? The A1C, no, that's the real picture here. That's what's showing your endocrinologist if you're out at 11 o'clock at night with handfuls of Fruit Loops cereal. Come on. You can't hide from an A1C, and you want that A1C under 5.7. That is one of the markers of metabolic health. So you're gonna wanna get that A1C under 5.7. If it falls between 5.7 and 6.4, that is a warning sign. That is your doctor sitting back, just waiting for you to become type 2, and he or she is just gonna treat it with medication. You need to understand that 2/3 of this country, 2/3, roughly 200 million people in the United States are pre-diabetic. And this is a serious problem. You don't want to mess with diabetes. You don't want to go down that road. A lot of problems with diabetes. You might already know this, or you might know somebody, a loved one who has dealt with diabetes. Pre-diabetes is 100% lifestyle driven. And I don't mean to make you feel shamed or condemned or make you feel bad at all. Like, that's not what the point of this video is. I'm happy that you're watching this video right now. I'm happy you're spending time with me. But you need to understand that pre-diabetes is 100% your fault. You caused this. You caused this status, and you can reverse this status. The next type of diabetes is type 2 diabetes. Now, that is very common. And that means that your pancreas is having a real hard time keeping up with the demands that you are putting on it. Yes, it's 100% lifestyle and diet related. You know, you don't inherit diabetes, okay? Just because your grandma had the sugars, like she used to say, doesn't mean you're gonna get the sugars now. I mean, everybody in your family could be pre-diabetic or type 2. And maybe they are. Maybe that's kind of the propensity. You might have a propensity to be diabetic, but you don't inherit diabetes. You don't. You need to know that. It ain't nobody's fault but yours. Okay? You are causing this serious problem. And why is this a problem? Because the pancreas secretes insulin. When you eat anything, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be goldfish crackers. It doesn't have to be a Go-Gurt. It doesn't have to be a slice of pecan pie. When you eat anything, your blood sugar goes up. The pancreas then secretes insulin to bring the blood sugar down so you don't die. Insulin, a very vital hormone, causes the cell to open up and receive the sugar. The sugar is then used for energy. So when you're putting an incredible amount of demand on your pancreas and asking it to pump out insulin over and over and over and over. Every 2 hours you're eating, you're having Pop-Tarts, you're having caramel macchiatos and cake pops, you're sticking crap in your mouth that you know ain't good for you. Your pancreas has a hard time keeping up and it can't produce and pump out enough insulin. It is getting ready to just say, you know what? I'm out. I can't do this anymore. And you probably need medication. That's when your endocrinologist could give you metformin or glucophage or some sort of exogenous medication that's going to help you bring that blood sugar down. And the third type of diabetes is type 1. This is a rare type of diabetes that people are born with. So my first husband, Jason Nickel, is type 1 diabetic. He has been type 1 since he was a kid. He was born with it. And this means that the pancreas doesn't secrete any insulin at all. And a type 1 diabetic will have to have injectable insulin their entire life. Jason and all the type 1 diabetics out there, he wore an insulin pump and it constantly fed him insulin all the time. Remember, insulin is a vital hormone. You need it, you just don't need very much of it. You only need a small amount for a quick amount of time, and then you need insulin to get out of the blood because, say it with me, you guys know it if you watch my videos, you can't lose weight in the presence of insulin. So when insulin is present, all the fat burning hormones are turned off. So come on, who doesn't want to burn a little bit of fat? I think we all want to burn a little bit of fat. So we want insulin to do its job, then get the heck out of the bloodstream and let glucagon and epinephrine and norepinephrine and other fat burning hormones take place, all right? So we all understand now diabetes, what it is, and the different types. Before we go any further, I want to hear from you. I want you to comment below and tell me. Unfortunately, I think I know the answer to this, but I still want to hear from you. Have you dealt with diabetes in your life, either with yourself or with your loved ones? I would love for you to comment below and tell me what has been your experience with diabetes. So the answer that you've all been waiting for, how long does it take to reverse type 2 diabetes? Now, of course, I gotta be careful answering this because this could be a liability for me and I can't make any medical claims. I'm just gonna tell you what I have seen over the last 26 years of being in this industry, and tens of thousands, I mean, at the time that we're recording this right now, over 46,000 people have come through my program. That's what I'm going off of when I tell you this answer. I have personally watched people come through the Code Red lifestyle, and after making the change from the standard American diet or whatever diet they were on to the Code Red lifestyle, I have watched them reverse their type 2 diabetes anywhere between 1 week and 1 month. I'm just saying that's what I have personally witnessed. And you can see our Code Red community is tens of thousands of people. And if you were to ask that question in one of my major community forums, you would see that a lot of people are going to be answering very similar. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to reverse your type 2 diabetes. It all depends on you. It depends on how serious you are about this. It depends on if you are going to still have your caramel macchiato in the morning. It depends on if you're going to kind of eat the right diet and kind of beep boop boop beep boop boop order Domino's pizza every Thursday night because you just don't feel like cooking on that night. It all depends on you. You are 100% in control of this. It is possible for this to happen for you. It is possible for you to reverse your diabetes. We've seen it before. It ain't the first time. It won't be the last time. People that come through the Code Red lifestyle, they can do it. Before I go on to my next point, I want to reiterate that I am absolutely adamant that you stay in touch with your healthcare provider during the process of you making this lifestyle change. If you're serious about reversing your type 2 diabetes, and the fact that you're watching this video tells me that you're at least semi-serious about it, you're thinking about it, which I'm super proud about, you've got to stay in touch with your doctor. Because if you are on some sort of medication and you decide to make this switch, your blood sugars are gonna come down. You're probably gonna need to have that medication dosage adjusted. And if you stay on the same amount of insulin, but your demand for it is not as high, you're gonna feel like crap. And we don't want you to feel like crap. The whole point of you doing this is to feel better, right? So always, 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 always stay in touch with your doctor. So what is the best eating style if you're type 2 diabetic and you wanna reverse that? Listen, it's probably not a big surprise to hear this, but it's Code Red. And I know that you're like, yeah, Cristy, always trying to sell. No, listen, here's my reasoning for why it is Code Red. Look, on Code Red, diabetic or not, we all eat like diabetics. I have a perfectly functioning pancreas, but I still eat like a diabetic because I don't want to trigger more insulin than what I need. I need that little amount, but then I don't want any more because I want fat burning to occur as much as it can in my body. So the Code Red lifestyle not only will lead you to a better list of foods that will be better in terms of reversing your type 2 diabetes, but the rules that you follow on Code Red are going to be better for your type 2 diabetes. Let me give you an example. One of the rules is we only eat 2 or 3 meals a day. The standard American diet has you eating 5 times a day. What is that? 3 meals and 2 snacks? That is asinine. We're not a bunch of Olympic athletes here. Do I look like Michael Phelps to you? No, I mean, if you're watching this video, chances are you're not an elite level athlete eating 10,000 calories a day because you're training 7 to 8 hours a day. When I was a professional fighter, I was training 5 hours a day. So yeah, that required a lot of food. It required a lot more. No, that's not you. I would bet my next paycheck that's not you watching this. We're all normal people here, okay? And by you eating 2 or 3 meals a day, this is gonna give your body a hot minute for hormone levels to return to baseline, for you to digest your food. That's one of the many ways the Code Red can help reverse your type 2 diabetes. It's 100% up to you. Are you gonna halfway follow the rules, or are you gonna all the way follow the rules? If you all the way follow the rules, you could start feeling better as early as tomorrow morning. I mean, for people with a normal functioning pancreas, and they start following the rules, they start feeling better as early as tomorrow morning. Imagine if you started following the rules today, you start drinking your water, you're starting to sleep, you're not snacking all day long, you're not beating up your body, beating up your pancreas, you get in bed at a decent hour. Imagine how good you'll start feeling by tomorrow morning. I mean, it's remarkable. And then give it a week, give it a month. It's absolutely remarkable how great you could feel if you start following the rules of the lifestyle. The lifestyle is the proper human diet. We eat real food, we drink water, and we sleep. No shakes, no pills, no diet foods, no exercise. We were never created to eat that crap anyway. We were never created to beat ourselves up at Orange Theory and CrossFit. Come on. Let's simplify it down. The Code Red lifestyle is designed to help you reverse your type 2 diabetes. And the best way to get started is going to be the 10-pound takedown challenge. It is. We have these rolling monthly challenges that you can get on. If you missed the last one, you can get the next one. You can lose at least 10 pounds in 30 days by following the simple rules, some of which I already mentioned, following the very simple food list. And if you think, well, I'm gonna be deprived, I'm gonna be hungry. No, none of that stuff happens. I mean, we're talking eggs and bacon, steak and asparagus, cream cheese, cottage cheese, really, really good food. So imagine being able to enjoy your food and reverse your type 2 diabetes. Many people have done that. It can happen for you. Make sure you stay in touch with your doctor. Get on the next challenge. I've linked it up below, so check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.